Number 1. Where technology turns all of life into the future. China has long been considered one of the most unique shopping paradises in the world, where you can find all kinds of products, from luxury brands to exquisite replicas that are difficult to distinguish with the naked eye. Many items are so cheap that tourists have to look twice to make sure they're not imagining it, as iPhones, Nike shoes, and Chanel bags can all be found at incredibly low prices. It's not for nothing that China is called the global center for counterfeit goods production. The two most prominent locations are Shenzhen and Yiwu, with Yiwu being known as the world's commodity supermarket. Here, almost every product has a domestically manufactured version, from clothing and watches to electronic components. Some markets are so vast they span dozens of hectares and are always bustling with traders from Africa and South America coming to stock up and then distribute goods far and wide. Beside copying products, China is also known for its ambition to recreate famous human icons. There are countless miniature models of the Eiffel Tower, Tower Bridge, and even an Asian version of Venice with gondolas floating through the streets. Many residential areas are built in a classic European style, sometimes making visitors forget they are still in East Asia. Some people consider this a form of imitation culture, but for the locals, it's simply a way for them to experience the world in a more intimate way. Alongside the copies, China also leads in many new technological fields. In large cities, cash has almost disappeared. People pay using facial recognition or sensors, which is even more convenient than swiping a card. Even old markets are starting to implement biometric payment methods to make transactions faster and cashless. Technology is every place. Robots serve drinks, restaurants are automated, and even performance stages feature robots that can dance or model. Many public transportation vehicles and taxis are already operating autonomously. Users simply need to book a ride through an app and wait a few minutes for the self-driving car to arrive and pick them up. Not stopping there, Chinese companies are also testing flying cars, solar-powered buses, and many products that once only appeared in science fiction films. In some parks, public benches come with wireless charging and entertainment screens, and are even equipped with health sensors for the elderly. If you've never been to China, these things might sound like fiction, and if you've already set foot here, please comment with the number 1 to confirm if these things are true. Number 2. The beauty and mysterious life of Chinese women. Chinese women have long been considered symbols of ethereal and gentle beauty. They often have small faces, smooth, fair skin, almond-shaped eyes, and soft, high noses, combined with a slender figure and a confident yet gentle demeanor. That beauty is a blend of tradition and modernity, making them stand out in the Asian region. Many people compare this charm to the fragrance of jasmine tea, finding it more captivating the longer they experience it. In the age of media, the image of Chinese women is also prominently featured in film, social media, and fashion, contributing to the shaping of an East Asian aesthetic standard in the eyes of international friends. Their care is not only evident in their faces, but also in their feet. Many women consider this a discreet highlight and dedicate significant effort to its care. From massage and acupressure to creams and supportive exercises, everything is aimed at keeping your legs slim and healthy. Some spas in Shanghai and Beijing have even developed intensive foot care services, combining traditional methods with modern equipment, reflecting how they blend ancient wisdom with contemporary aesthetic standards. Historically, the idea of golden lotus feet was once considered the epitome of elegance. Foot binding emerged in the late 10th century, forcing young girls to bind their feet tightly so that the bones would gradually shrink to just a few centimeters. This custom lasted for centuries and had a severe impact on millions of women, especially those from the Han aristocracy. The concept of fair skin still plays an important role in Chinese aesthetics. Since feudal times, fair skin has signified prosperity because only those who did not engage in heavy labor could maintain such skin. This concept continues into modern times. Many women are very careful, using sunscreen and spending a lot of time on skincare. Some even resort to unsafe methods like taking whitening pills or washing their faces with vinegar. In matters of the heart, Chinese women often set clear standards for their partners. They prioritize tall men with stable jobs, homes, and especially those who know how to respect women. Many people consider this practical, but it actually reflects the gender imbalance in China, where there are tens of millions more men than women. Therefore, men are forced to stand out if they want to attract attention in an increasingly competitive emotional landscape. Number 3. China, the cradle of the four great inventions. China is one of the world's oldest continuous civilizations, with a history spanning over 5,000 years. Throughout that journey, this country not only built powerful dynasties, but also contributed numerous inventions that shaped human development. The most prominent are paper, gunpowder, the compass, and printing, achievements often referred to as the four great inventions of China. Gunpowder appeared in the 9th century when Taoist alchemists sought to create an elixir of immortality. The combination of coal, sulfur, and saltpeter created a highly explosive compound. Initially used in fireworks and religious ceremonies, it quickly entered warfare. From here, rudimentary weapons like rockets, bamboo bombs, and cannons appeared, having a profound impact on world military history. The compass was invented by observing the Earth's natural magnetism. Lodestones were originally used for feng shui, but by the 11th century, a magnetic needle was attached to a freely rotating pivot, making it an indispensable tool for navigation. Thanks to the compass, Chinese fleets were able to expand their sea routes, trade with Southeast Asia, the Indian Ocean, and even further. Some scholars argue that at that time, China's maritime technology was centuries ahead of Europe. Paper was a turning point that completely changed written culture. Before paper existed, writing on bamboo, wood, or silk was very expensive. In 105 AD, Kai Lun developed paper made from tree bark and rags, which was light and easy to produce. By the 8th century, woodblock printing technology emerged, helping knowledge spread more widely. In the 11th century, movable type was invented, paving the way for book printing at an unprecedented speed. The Diamond Sutra from 868 is one of the oldest printed works in the world, predating European prints by a significant margin. Besides, porcelain is also a symbolic achievement of China. Thanks to the high-temperature glazing technique, the craftsman creates products that are thin, light, durable, and distinctive in their glaze color. Porcelain became a precious commodity sought after by Arab and European merchants, and many Ming Dynasty pieces are now displayed in major museums, such as the British Museum and the Louvre. In English, the word China simultaneously means porcelain, clearly demonstrating the influence of this civilization. Number 4. When Chinese traditions go beyond anything you can imagine. In Southeast China, the art of tea making was once associated with incredibly strict rituals. Only unmarried girls wearing symbolic purity attire were allowed to pick tea leaves, and they plucked each young bud with their lips, not their hands. This type of tea is considered absolutely pure and is reserved for the royal class. Although the ritual has almost disappeared, it still appears in traditional festivals in Fujian and Zhejiang. Famous teas like De Hong Pao or Tie Guanyin still hold very high value, sometimes reaching tens of thousands of dollars per kilogram, partly due to the historical stories surrounding them. Heading southwest, one encounters the crying before the wedding custom of the Tujia, Yi, and Zhuang communities. Before the wedding day, the bride will cry for many days as a way of expressing her attachment to her family. Then, my mother and the older women joined in the crying, creating a ritualistic performance. This tradition is said to have originated during the Warring States period when the mother of a Zhao princess cried as she saw her daughter off to marry far away. Today, some villages still maintain the custom and incorporate the erhu and drums to enhance the solemnity. In Hunan and Hubei provinces, the wedding atmosphere is even more lively with the custom of beating the groom. Each stroke symbolizes a wish for good luck, and guests even receive red envelopes to boost their spirits. Some researchers believe this custom originated from the ancient belief that pain helps cleanse bad luck before entering a new chapter of life. In remote areas of Tibet, there is still a special belief about marriage. It is believed that a woman is only ready for marriage when she has had enough experience with at least 20 men. Each time, she kept a small memento, and only when she had 20 items would she be considered eligible to be a wife. Local belief holds that an attractive woman is one who is pursued by many men, while marrying a virgin is considered unlucky for the husband. In sparsely populated areas, reaching this number forces many girls to go to other villages to complete the ritual. Number 5. Things that are surprisingly legal in China. In bustling cities like Shanghai, Guangzhou, and Beijing, the supercar night market trend is becoming a global phenomenon. Young people are turning Range Rovers, Porsches, and Mercedes into mobile coffee and fast food stands, decorating them with LED lights and neon signs like mini studios. Many people are selling directly and live streaming on Douyin simultaneously, taking online orders from thousands of viewers. What was considered encroaching on the road elsewhere was accepted by China as a symbol of flexible entrepreneurial spirit. Simultaneously, China has come very close to a cashless economy. Over 90% of retail transactions in major cities are made using QR codes via WeChat Pay or Alipay. Even beggars, street performers, and street vendors use QR codes to receive money. In Beijing or Guangzhou, you might see an artist place a hat with a QR code for passers-by to scan in a few seconds. Some people even became famous when their QR codes went viral online, helping them receive money from abroad. Some companies even collaborate with digital beggars to collect data proving that China possesses a comprehensive digital ecosystem that is rarely matched elsewhere. In the social sphere, legal differentiation is also reflected in the law on the rights of the elderly. Since 2013, China has been the only country to require children to visit their parents regularly, or they will be considered to be breaking the law. Although the regulation doesn't specify how long regularly is, and enforcement is rare, the law reflects the reality of a rapidly aging population and the concept of filial piety being seen as a legal obligation. In many countries, laws that intervene in family relationships can be controversial, but in China, this is seen as an effort to maintain cultural values amidst the age of technology and urbanization. Number 6. Giant cities define the future. Beijing is the historical heart of China, having been the capital of 6 dynasties with a cultural history spanning over 3,000 years. The city boasts 8 World Heritage Sites, the highest number for a capital city. The Forbidden City, with over 9,000 rooms, remains the largest palace complex in human history, while Tiananmen Square has a capacity of nearly 1 million people. Underground, the Underground City, built during the Cold War, still exists as a mysterious relic. With a subway network nearly 900 kilometers long, serving over 10 million passengers daily, Beijing clearly demonstrates a blend of tradition and modernity. Shanghai is once again taking on the appearance of a futuristic metropolis. The city's population has increased from 5 million to approximately 29 million in just 7 decades. This is China's largest financial center, with brightly lit skyscrapers surrounding the Bund and the Huangpu River. The 632-meter-tall Shanghai Tower symbolizes the city's ambition to rise, while Xintiandi and Tianzifang retain their old-world charm through narrow alleys with European architectural influences. Guangzhou is an ancient commercial center, historically linked to the Maritime Silk Road for 2 millennia. Today, it is China's export gateway, where the Canton Fair attracts millions of global businesses. The city is also famous for its Cantonese culture, dim sum cuisine, and open lifestyle, earning Guangzhou the nickname City of Joy. Shenzhen showcases an astonishing pace of development, from a small fishing village to a global technology hub with over 13 million residents. This is the headquarters of Huawei, Tencent, DJI, and thousands of other innovative companies, earning the city the nickname Silicon Valley of the East. Chongqing also boasts unique mountainous terrain and a population of over 32 million. The city is called 8D thanks to its multi-level road system, the monorail that runs through the residential buildings at Liziba Station, and the soaring outdoor elevators. As night falls, the lights from the buildings reflect on the Yangtze River, creating a dazzling scene that has been likened to New York among the hills. Number 7. China, the land of billions of electronic eyes. China is considered one of the most tightly controlled information countries in the world. The internet operates within a separate ecosystem where Google, Facebook, YouTube, and X are completely blocked. Even TikTok doesn't exist globally. It's replaced by Douyin, which has its own algorithms and censorship system. The digital firewall is intended to ensure control over the flow of information and limit external influences. To replace the international internet, China is building a strong domestic technology ecosystem. WeChat has become a multifunctional platform for everything from messaging to payments. Baidu serves as a search engine, and Youku and IQIYI handle online video. DeepSeek is considered a counterweight to ChatGPT, completing the self-sufficient internet model that experts call a parallel universe. Control is also evident in population policies. For decades, the one-child policy was a strict measure to curb population growth. When families had 2 children, then 3, many were still fined or had violations recorded in their records. However, in the face of low birth rates and a rapidly aging population, the government reversed course with a series of incentives such as cash subsidies, reduced mortgage interest rates, and allowing fathers to take parental leave. Cinema and popular culture are also tightly controlled. Each year, only a few foreign films are licensed for theatrical release and often have to be edited to remove sensitive content. Some genres, such as time travel films or themes considered to undermine national spirit, are often completely rejected. The public surveillance system is the clearest example of China's management philosophy. A network of hundreds of millions of AI-integrated and facial recognition cameras covers the entire city. Despite raising privacy concerns, many citizens view this as a factor ensuring security and order in modern life. Number 8. The mystery of places, where outsiders are not allowed to set foot. China possesses many areas that are both beautiful and absolutely restricted, creating rare, forbidden zones in the world. The most intriguing is Beijing Military City at Qinglonghu, located over 30 kilometers from central Beijing. The military zone, spanning approximately 1,500 acres, is larger than the Pentagon and features deep underground bunkers capable of withstanding nuclear attacks. The area is completely sealed off without any official explanation and is believed to be a command center in a major conflict situation. At an altitude of over 4,000 meters in Sichuan, Laronggar was once the world's largest Buddhist community, where tens of thousands of monks and nuns lived in red wooden houses covering the mountainside. Since 2016, the area has been heavily restricted to foreigners due to the religious and political sensitivity of the Tibetan region, making Laronggar a sacred but the most inaccessible place in China. Also in Sichuan, the 26-kilometer-long and 2,600-meter-deep Dadu Gorge creates a landscape like a giant gash between steep rock mountains. However, the area is located near a military base and a geologically hazardous zone. Foreigners are completely prohibited, and domestic residents must obtain special permission to enter. The tomb of Qin Shi Huang is a famous archaeological forbidden zone. Although the Terracotta Army has been excavated, the underground palace has not yet been opened due to conservation concerns. Ancient texts describe a sea of mercury, and modern measurements record unusually high levels of mercury, making a full excavation risky. In Aksai Chin, along National Highway G219, the stunning desert plateau scenery is limited by sensitive border security with India. Visitors are only allowed to stay on the designated route, and stopping or taking photos is prohibited in many sections. The Lop Nur nuclear test site, used from the 1960s to the end of the 20th century, remains an absolute exclusion zone. Recent studies have also documented infrastructure expansion, making this area even more inaccessible to outsiders. Number 9. When a language has over 50,000 characters. Mandarin, or Putonghua, is the official language of China and is considered one of the oldest surviving linguistic heritages in Asia. According to the U.S. Foreign Service, it takes English speakers about 2,200 hours of study, or nearly 4 years, to reach a confident level of communication, highlighting the complexity of the sound and writing systems. The most distinctive feature of Chinese lies in its tones. Changes in pitch can cause the same sound, such as ma, to have completely different meanings. For beginners, distinguishing the tones is like having to listen with your eyes, as the two sentences sound almost identical but create opposite meanings for native speakers. The Chinese writing system further makes Mandarin unique. Unlike alphabets, Chinese is based on tens of thousands of characters, each of which is an independent unit of meaning. Learners need to know about 2,000 to 3,000 words to read newspapers, even though the entire system exceeds 50,000 characters. Many characters have a pictographic origin, such as ren, which depicts a person's posture, or shan, which evokes 3 mountains, creating a combination of language and art. Since Chinese has only about 400 syllables, homophones are very common. A sound can have multiple meanings and is entirely dependent on context, making expression, intonation, and speaking pace crucial elements in daily communication. Conversely, Mandarin has simple grammar, no verb conjugation, no tenses, no gender, and no plurals. Today, over 1.4 billion people use Chinese, making Mandarin one of the most important languages in the global economy. Many Westerners learn Chinese not only for commercial purposes, but also to access the system of thought that has shaped a civilization spanning thousands of years. By understanding Mandarin, learners not only open the door to communication, but also enter the unique Chinese worldview of time, nature, and humanity. Number 10. Why does China dominate the global tea industry? China is not only the cradle of tea culture, but also the world's largest tea producer and consumer market, accounting for over 40% of global production. In 2023, the tea industry's revenue exceeded 320 billion yuan, approximately 40 billion USD, becoming a source of livelihood for millions of farmers. The famous tea-growing regions of Fujian, Yunnan, Zhejiang, and Hunan are considered the four pillars of Chinese tea culture. Among them, Fujian stands out with its oolong teas and the white tea by Hao Yin-zhen, which was once offered to the Qing dynasty emperors. China's dominance stems from the sustainable relationship between humans and nature. The tea-growing mountain regions are located at altitudes of 800 to 2,000 meters, with a cool climate and year-round fog, which helps the tea leaves accumulate the characteristic mountain aroma and minerals. In Yunnan, the birthplace of pu'er tea, many ancient trees over 800 years old are still harvested, and their leaves can fetch thousands of USD per pound. For the Chinese, tea is both a beverage and an artistic form of investment. Ancient pu'er tea cakes, if brewed correctly, can increase in value significantly over time, much like fine wine. A pu'er tea cake from the 1950s was once sold for over $1 million USD, demonstrating the allure of the antique tea market. Today, tea also plays a role in soft diplomacy. Many international leaders have been gifted longjing or pu'er tea as a symbol of respect and goodwill. In the 21st century, tea is not only a tradition, but also a tool that helps China subtly and widely build its national image. Number 11. Top places to visit. Once in a lifetime in China, Zhangjiajie in Hunan province is always mentioned as a land where the boundary between reality and illusion almost disappears. Over 3,000 towering sandstone pillars, some reaching heights of 400 meters, create a unique stone forest. That very scene inspired the world of Pandora in the movie Avatar, leading it to be called Avatar in real life. According to geologists, this majestic rock column system formed over 380 million years ago when water and wind eroded the sedimentary rock layers, leaving behind giant pillars of stone shrouded in thick mist. Beside the natural scenery, Zhangjiajie also boasts structures that amaze visitors. The famous glass bridge is 430 meters long and about 300 meters high, allowing pedestrians to look straight down into the deep gorge below. Many people had to move very slowly because they were afraid of heights, but that experience became the most appealing highlight of the journey. Nearby, the 326-meter-high Beilong elevator takes visitors to the top of the mountain in just 2 minutes, giving the sensation of being pulled straight up into the clouds. As you travel far southwest, you'll encounter Zhujiaigu, a UNESCO World Heritage Site famous for its system of over 100 colorful lakes. The watercolor changes with the light and minerals, creating a spectrum of colors from turquoise and blue to amber. Five Flower Lake, the jewel of the valley, is so clear that you can see the tree trunks resting at the bottom, creating the feeling of another world hidden beneath the surface. Beside the lakes, Zhujiaigu also impresses with the 20-meter-high and 300-meter-wide Nuorelang waterfall, which cascades down amidst the deep green forest like a giant crystal curtain. When autumn arrives, the entire valley is painted in vibrant shades of red and gold, making every view look like a work of art. Further south, the Hani people's Yuanyang rice terraces in Yunnan province showcase how humans transformed treacherous terrain into a masterpiece. Over 3,000 rice terraces, spanning from 1,000 to 2,000 meters in elevation, take on a unique character with each season. Spring reflects the sky and the water, summer is lush green, autumn shimmers with gold, and winter is shrouded in silver mist. It's no surprise that UNESCO likens this place to a harmonious visual symphony between humans and nature. Number 11. Top places to visit once in a lifetime in China. Number 12. China's unique and exquisite culinary heritage. In the treasure trove of Chinese cuisine, beggar's chicken is a dish with humble origins that has been elevated to the status of a luxurious specialty. Legend has it that in Zhejiang, a beggar wrapped a chicken in lotus leaves, coated it with clay, and baked it in charcoal because he had no cooking utensils. When the layer of soil was broken, a surprising aroma was released, and that rustic cooking technique was later perfected by high-end restaurants. The chicken is slow roasted for many hours, resulting in tender meat infused with a very delicate lotus scent. In contrast to that elegance, stinky tofu is notorious for its pungent odor, which many people find repulsive. However, for the discerning palate, the more pungent this dish is, the more appealing it becomes. In Beijing, stinky tofu is deep-fried until golden and drizzled with spicy sauce. In Hunan or Taiwan, this dish is steamed or baked with herbs, creating many unique but also challenging variations. Another facet of Chinese cuisine lies in the culture of eating insects. At night markets, roasted scorpions, fried grasshoppers, and butter-fried silkworms are commonly found. Beijing's Wangfujing Street is famous for its scorpion skewers and crispy fried dragonflies, which make visitors both curious and wary. Although they look like something out of a science fiction film, they are rich in protein and loved by young people for the transgressive feeling they bring to food. Beside that, China also possesses many items that were once associated with the upper class. Bird's nest porridge is the most premium example. Made from birds' nests that cost hundreds of dollars per bowl, it is believed to boost immunity and improve skin. This dish often appears at large banquets and state dinners. Another popular dish is crispy duck tongue, which is tender and has a distinctive texture, often stir-fried with chili or marinated in soy sauce. This is a favorite dish in Shanghai and Guangzhou, reflecting the richness and diversity of Chinese cuisine. Number 13. China, a land that hides many unbelievable secrets. In the remote Alai Mountains of Xinjiang, near the Mongolian border, there is a valley that the locals only mention with caution, the Valley of Death. In winter, temperatures can drop below -40 degrees, making this place almost isolated from the world. For decades, hunters, soldiers, and even survey teams who entered never returned. Some bodies were found with skin scorched as if burned, while their clothes remained intact, a phenomenon that has left the scientific community unable to agree on an explanation. Some experts believe that methane or hydrogen sulfide gas pockets could exist underground, which are toxic enough to kill someone in minutes. Another hypothesis suggests that this area is located at the intersection of strong magnetic fields, making compasses useless and people easily disoriented. But for the indigenous people, the most important thing is the belief that this is the sacred land of fallen ancient warriors. They say that at night, the sounds of battle drums and galloping horses still echo from deep within the valley. It's these very stories that make no one dare to venture more than 3 kilometers into the center, which is known as the Devil's Triangle of Asia. Thousands of kilometers east of there, on the island of Shangshan in Zhejiang, a completely different mystery exists. The village was once a bustling fishing community, but when the fishing grounds depleted in the 1990s, the residents left, leaving the houses to be reclaimed by nature. Within just a few years, vines, moss, and shrubs had completely engulfed the stone walls, tiled roofs, and village paths, transforming the area into a green oasis floating in the sea. Biologists believe the plants here grow unusually fast due to the stable microclimate and isolation from humans. Visitors here often describe the feeling as witnessing a post-human world where nature reclaims its dominance. Number 14. The cost of living in China. The cost of living in China varies greatly depending on the city and lifestyle. In large cities like Beijing or Shanghai, the rent for a one-bedroom apartment is typically between $600 and $900 USD per month. If you cook your own meals, your food budget will range from $30 to $80 per month, while meals at local restaurants only cost about $3 to $7 each. Smaller cities like Chengdu or Xi'an have a cost of living that is nearly 30% cheaper, making them suitable for those who want to save money while still maintaining a good quality of life. China's public transportation system is considered one of the most modern networks in Asia. For just $5 per month, you can use the subway and bus to travel comfortably without owning a personal vehicle. In Beijing, an integrated transportation card even allows you to use both public bicycles and intercity trains to travel between districts, providing maximum convenience. Those who enjoy working out can easily find a suitable gym for a monthly price of $30 to $50, including yoga, boxing, and fitness classes. The average cost of living for one person ranges from $880 to $1,800 USD per month, depending on spending habits and lifestyle. Number 15. Important advice for travelers. When visiting China, many tourists easily encounter the situation of being invited for tea in Beijing or Shanghai. Some young people who speak English fluently will approach you and invite you to experience the tea ceremony right near the tourist area. Everything was going well until the bill unexpectedly increased by a few hundred. If you object, fake security personnel sometimes appear to put pressure on you. The authorities have previously warned about this scam, so the safest approach is to politely decline and only participate in activities booked through reputable hotels or tour companies. The payment system also makes many people uncomfortable. China has almost abandoned cash, and most stores or taxis only accept QR codes or digital wallets. If you haven't installed Alipay or WeChat Pay, paying can become complicated. It's best to prepare an eSIM or mobile data to log into your account, and also save your booking code and receipt in case you lose internet access. Booking and prepaying through an international platform will help you pay by card and avoid many inconveniences. Another common risk is fake taxis at airports and train stations. Some unlicensed drivers often stand right at the exit and offer a fixed price that is many times higher than the actual price. Official taxis always have a meter, a price list at the door, and license plates that start with the letter B. Please follow the legal taxi line at the station, request a receipt, and bring the hotel address in Chinese. If you get on the wrong vehicle, you could lose money and be taken to unwanted shops. And those are 15 incredible facts about China. If you find the video helpful, please like, subscribe, and turn on the bell so you don't miss the next journey. Which fact impressed you the most? Please comment below. This information is for reference only, so please verify it yourself before making a decision.